All right, tell me you're joking time. I'm back recording on a Friday. I will release this on the same day, so if you're watching it today, this is as close to real time as I'm going to get for a while because I don't know, I don't have the energy and the work ethic my guest does today. He's constantly he's up and at it, man. Comes out in real time. But I'm rolling in here with a little St. Louis lovin'. If you're a steel guitar fan, a little bit of that old, maybe probably Nashville vibe more than West Texas vibe. Hunter Peebles, he's a local kid. Hunter Peebles and the Moonlighters. Go over on Spotify. That's my local PSA for the day. Go give them a listen. They could use the money. Tyler and Zach, they don't need the money. Send your spins to St. Louis artists anyway. That's my local sales pitch for the day. Today we are going to be all over the board. In fact, we just were talking before I hit the red light. I had no plans. Neither did my guest. You've read your dashboard. Adam Zoph is back.
Yep.
Pulled himself away from his deck.
Yes.
The home studio and his constant battling with the masses. I do want to start there. I told you that we're not going to do interview style today, but I got to ask, man. We all know social media is toxic, yet we are all on it. You put out these video clips daily, little news updates,
Yep.
opinions / data / everything in between. And it seems as if the vast majority of people that have an opinion disagree with yours. Are you tired of it?
No, not at all.
Do you feed off of it?
So I have my trolls, and I need them. I need 15% of the people that listen to me or watch me to hate me. And I need them to hate me enough to engage with the audience so that the algorithm will push it out there farther, and then more people will see it.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, a necessary evil if you're going to do social media.
No, I'm fully familiar with the value of trolls. I'm not as diligent as you. My numbers are a percentage of yours, but I do believe the love-hate relationship between
Yes.
my percentage
Yes.
it's pretty strong.
So I have a lot of people that agree with me. I get DMs all day, every day of people sending me nice messages, thanking me for doing it. And they comment too.
Okay. DMs. Mm-hmm. Or when you're in public, right?
Yeah.
One or the other. You just said you get these DMs, people saying, "Hey, I like it." I get the same.
Yeah.
I get these messages like, "Love that last post, keep writing, whatever." Does it bother you that you don't? And this is going to sound pretty narcissistic or selfish. Does it bother you that you don't get public thanks or encouragement? Because the trolls, they literally feel as if you are the one in the vacuum.
So, and it's to the point,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's to the point now where I have enough followers that I engage with the trolls at the beginning of whenever I post the video just to get them riled up.
Yeah.
And then I have enough followers and enough people, they'll get in there and fight the battle for me. They know what to say. It's the same people over and over and over again. I have the same 200 trolls.
Yeah, that's a pretty sad statement on my part, but in a weird way, it does bother me a little bit. I deal with it. I'm like, whatever, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And it does probably motivates me a little bit more to be active when I do see somebody out that I haven't seen in a while that I know kind of is, quote, Facebook friend or whatever, and they're like, really appreciate it.
Yeah, every once in a while, like not very often, every once in a while I'll get somebody will be like, "Hey," and they'll look at me funny like, "I know you from somewhere."
Yeah.
And then it'll click and they'll say, "I love your videos."
So just kind of pulled it up. I believe we met and connected roughly about a year ago.
Yeah, right out of a year.
Roughly. You were just kind of kicking off the Facebook portion of your content. Your Insta was out there. Your TikTok was out there. Insta at the time, I believe, was around 24,000. Just pulled it up. You're 42,600 followers on Insta.
Yep.
Where's TikTok?
TikTok is around 25,000.
Okay, so pretty steady.
Pretty steady. Well, whenever the ownership took over, I got just whacked.
Yeah.
Like whacked. It's down to almost zero for like almost 120 days.
So bottom line is, I mean, I know what these numbers mean. That's big numbers.
And then Facebook just broke 34,000 today.
Okay.
And actually I have my fastest growth there. It is definitely my most engaged audience.
So let's talk about engagement. Clearly, for someone like yourself and even myself that engages in the soup du jour.
Yes. Yes.
What is resonating with you? What are you gravitating towards these days as far as policy or topic or area, or is it just so much?
It's so much. I could make 15 videos a day.
Yeah.
I honestly could. If I had enough time, but I only have it like an hour in the morning that I do this.
Yeah. So
if I had all day to do this, I can make a video about every topic every day and just put them out one after another because there is so much bullshit happening. It's just. I'm
going to ask you an impossible question follow-up, and then I'm going to get off this interview format, and we're going to talk about topics of the day. Trump 2.0. If you had to pick a desert island topic that this administration and this this timeline has provided us, what is the one that either you prefer to talk about the most, or that you think has the most guts to it, that is just more relevant than anything else?
So the things that are happening to the DOJ are going to be the most consequential, and I could talk about it every day, all day.
But do you think that's too in the weeds for the average individual?
It really is in the weeds. It's you got to know the nuance of it, and it takes a long time. Court cases take a long time, and I just think it's going to end so badly. It makes me sick to my stomach watching what has happened to the DOJ.
I agree. I think that is not the area that most people would say is the billboard, or the marquee topic.
The easier topics are the gas prices, going to the war. All of those are easy.
Trans.
All of that is easy to talk about. But the thing that is going to structurally destroy the country is what is happening to the DOJ. We can come through economic strife. We can go through war. We can't make it through the other side if law doesn't matter anymore.
Or it's not being abided by.
Yeah.
Are you surprised by it seems to be there seems to be an uptick in the courts pushing back?
Yes, there is a lot of the court is pushing back. My concern is the speed at which they are going to move now that we have a new AG. It's going to. I am terrified about the time between now and January. I have a lot of fear around the election. I'm nervous about what's going to happen because I could see them moving so quickly on that topic, and just because if the states lose control of their ballots, the election integrity is gone.
Do you think though that Missouri is kind of like, obviously we're both here. Do you think Missouri's primary, and specifically with amendments 4 and 5 and kind of the tail of the tape of a Republican supermajority, super conservative state, that ideologically, at least on the surface level, is supposed to be this, super MAGA state, et cetera, yet fundamentally when it came right down to these particular policies said, get the fuck out of here with this shit?
Yep.
Do you think that there is kind of an American through line there with the potential of what we think that they want to do with the elections, where the American people have hit a wall, and like even those that are conservative right, maybe the MAGA camp is going to always be loyal no matter what.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But you got a good 50-60% of.
But to make that kind of change, all you need is 30% that don't believe what happened. So if he goes in and says the election, if he declares a national emergency, and he changes how we vote, which is possible. Or if he, on election day, decides to steal all the ballots, not in every state, you would just select polling stations. They would get them from there. Once the Fed holds those, the election integrity is gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happens after that. Mike Johnson's already proven he won't sit people. So if he's on the same page as the administration saying that these elections were stolen and we have to sort through this, what if we get to, February, and there's no answer?
Let me play something for you real quick, because
Yep.
this is kind of in line with what we're talking about. I actually shared this morning. He probably is one of my favorite Congress people. You'll know who I'm talking about. Here we go. Oh, hold on a second. Would help if I unmuted it. Good thing I run a studio.
I think it's ironic that we control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House, and we're yelling election fraud. I mean, we won all the damn elections, and we're in charge, and what are we doing with it? We're bankrupting the country, we're starting new wars, we're violating the Constitution, we're not cracking down on the fraud. The problem is not the elections. We won the damn elections.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Massey.
Yep.
When you hear that, and when you think of people in your world, be it trolls, ex-friends, maybe family members that have bought into the red pill the last 10 years.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, they're so pilled
Yeah.
that they believe anything that they say. And I think that number of Americans that are in that camp is 30 to 40%. They're probably 35-ish percent. That's a lot of people. That's tens of millions of people. So if they agree with the administration that this election was stolen, even before it happens, I don't know how we get to the other side of that.
How funny was it the other night that up in Minnesota, Mr. Pillow guy himself comes out, loses by, 20%?
Yeah.
25%?
And he's saying that it was stolen.
There's
Yeah. And it's,
these two.
if there is no truth, what do we do? And if there is no law, what happens? And that's what the DOJ, I feel like we are going to watch some crazy things happen. Things that Americans are not prepared for yet.
It is the most surreal subject matter or item, within this, chaos that we are living in. So much of the other things, to a degree, you can pencil it down into even data if you want to. Say inflation. If there's an argument over inflation, but Biden, whatever. No, we can break down.
Yep.
The stupid tropes of, well, it was global inflation, all these things, and versus, the reality of what's going on. Like, I can't think of anything that bothers me more than watching Scott Bessent on CNBC in the morning. Literally, an individual that was incredibly respected
Yeah.
in the world of finance econ has completely jumped the shark.
So that inflation and all of that, they can spin that a lot, and they've spun it so much that even their followers are okay with it to a level that is weird.
As they can't afford gas.
They can't afford gas. They can't. So
utility bills.
I saw a stat the other day. The average age of a car in the United States is 14 and a half years old. In 2010, it was like 11. People are keeping their cars forever, and they're not.
That's a that's a big number.
Big jump, and the amount of cars being sold are less. So we have a whole society built on automotive, like driving your car.
Yeah.
And fewer and fewer people are buying cars and own cars because they can't afford it. And it's like the most functional thing in the United States is to have a car, and they can't afford a car, and they're okay with it, which is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of the theory. Let's get into the headlines. As we so efficiently created a strategy for our conversation earlier, in so much that we didn't have a strategy.
Yes.
Let's play along just like your page. And in fact, if you're listening and if you're wondering, I'll put a link in the show notes, but it's really simple. Adam Zoph, Zoph, spelled like it sounds. Go give him a follow on Insta, etc. And you can get these daily updates. But let's go with today. Today is Friday, August 14th. What's your headline news of the day, man?
My video today will be about the Joe Rogan podcast. Shane Gillis was on, and a month ago, the administration put out that they were going to sell early access to True Social posts, which affect the markets in a crazy way. It's in this insider trading is what it is. The thing that struck me about the show was Joe Rogan has tens of millions of followers.
Yeah.
People go to him for the news as like a legit news source. He clearly had no idea this was happening, or he played dumb that he didn't know it was happening. And it was like brand new news on this show. And it's a huge deal. And in the fact that people get and decide who they're going to vote for based on this show is just mind boggling to me.
Yeah. I think my opinion of Joe Rogan right now today on this Friday, the 14th, I think he has had, love him or hate him, he's a smart guy. I think he's had to come to Jesus laying in bed at night. And I think that he is talking himself in circles repeatedly with every guest that he's had lately. He knows. And he's trying to figure out a way, and this is my take on it, because I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I don't listen to 4 hours of a conversation with Shane Gillis. That's not going to happen.
That's not, I do that.
Do give it a good 5, 10, 15 minutes a week just to try and, okay, here's the clip, give me the segment. And when you meet somebody that, within your life that did something stupid, and there's just this kind of like body language of, God, I hope you're not still mad at me. That's what I'm getting from Joe right now.
So my problem with the show going way back is he never pushes back on anyone about anything, which is the basis of the show. And that was fine whenever he had guys talking about aliens on. But it's different whenever you have people in charge of our government and you're given this giant platform to lie to you.
Are you more surprised? Well, I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it because I want people to think about it themselves. Who surprises you more, Rogan's kind of willingness to bring on guests that will talk about things that are negative to this administration, i.e., the Truth Social post, or are you surprised by Tucker Carlson's complete? It's not even a 180. It's like
Tucker Carlson's running for president.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's going to run for president. 100%. He's running for president in 2028.
He can win.
100% he can. Yes, I see a scenario where Tucker Carlson is president in 2028.
What does that do to Trump's legacy?
I don't know what his legacy is.
Yeah.
I think it will go down.
He's the greatest home wrecker in human history.
Man, he's got some
sponsored by Thanksgiving.
We're pacing to some Hooverville stuff. So I don't know. I mean, Buchanan comes to mind. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. Whenever 60% of the country, 65% of the country hates you, that's a problem.
Yeah. And that's of the people willing to answer the phone call.
Yes. Yeah. It is a large number of people that don't just dislike you. They want you to be gone, which is unlike any. Even when Bush wasn't popular, there wasn't hatred at him. It was, this failed, and we need you to go. They don't like him.
So, kind of a tangent off of Tucker in particular, and really a thorn in the side is a polite way of putting it. I want to get your take on Israeli policy, Middle East, because Tucker has made it clear that his exit from MAGAville is almost exclusively built upon the back of what Israel is doing and his hatred for that process. How are you seeing it? Because to me, it's almost like this particular issue is dividing not only Republicans through the Tucker camp and the traditional MAGA camp, but it all clearly is dividing Democrats.
Yeah, there's so much money. We're talking about there's so much money in the pack.
Are you surprised at kind of the prevalence, the position that Israel is playing, block to block to block here in America in these conversations?
It is this double-edged sword with Israel. You have to separate the country and what the government is doing.
Correct.
And that's a very nuanced, hard thing for people to do. I mean, what they did, it's a genocide.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know. It's like it's this, the hamster wheel is the size of a fucking quarter. Where you're like, you know, what you're doing in Gaza is genocide. So you're Are you anti-Israeli? No,
No.
I'm anti-genocide.
yeah.
So you're pro-Hamas? No, I'm anti-genocide. And it's all government driven.
I forgot who I listened to. I listened to somebody right after October 7th happened, and they said there was an opportunity for Israel to really do nothing and have the world back up everything that would happen going forward, and really make Hamas the bad guy to a level that they have never been before. And they chose to go the other route. They chose to go the violence route. But I wonder what that world looks like, where the entire world watches October 7th. And then, you know, everybody in the world is against Hamas. Now you have everybody divided. Like, it is, I don't know, man. It's a quagmire.
Well, you know, I'm a history poli-sci nerd. Like, growing up as a kid, as an Xer, right? The Cold War. I lived it. You know, I was young, but I was aware. You know, the stories out of the Munich Olympics, the Pan Am flights, you know, terrorist bombings here, you know, everywhere. This narrative that was who the bad guys were.
Yeah.
And the victim the entire time, you know, was Israel. And I think that, you know, this generation, I don't even want to talk about the religious aspects of this, like, well, chosen people. Like, okay, that's a problem too. But it was Mehdi Hassan, you know who he is, ZTO, whatever, ZETEO. There was a short clip I saw it this morning where somebody said, you know, you can't say that Hollywood in particular has always made, you know, Muslims the bad guy. And he, you know, it was a stitch where he came on and said, well, how about these movies? And he ripped off like 30 fucking movies in which the Middle Eastern dark-skinned guy was the bad guy. And that's what we grew up with. Every one of them was like, you know, our childhood favorites. How do you know, do you think we're starting to see this rift because we now have had enough time elapse? And Zers in particular, they're not watching Red Dawn or, you know, these 80s movies.
So I think that comes down to media in general. It's so separated. Like, it's just spread out across everything. I mean, movies don't have the same, you know, they don't mean as much now. They just don't at all. Whenever we were kids, you went to a movie, that was a big deal. You might change your narrative on everything. Now it's you look at your phone.
Yeah. Well, this is a four hour, you know, other episode. I'm going to move on here. I want to get your take on this. One of the news items, the daily news item that really amazes me, is the war, Iran war. The narrative constantly coming out of all these press conferences of, you know, Scott Besson, I'm going to bring him up. The other day on CNBC, this is last week, he's like, well, the rumor is, you know, our camp says by later this afternoon, we're going to have an agreement. Yeah, we've won this war 27 times.
Yep. We're never going to win this war. There is no end to this war.
So here's where I'm going with this, though. When you take the pieces of what we all know to be true, and that is the strait is closed.
Yeah, 100%.
The oil markets globally are in tatters. You have a new regime in Iran that nobody can find because they're pretty good at doing what they do as bad guys, right? That's still happening. You have expanded the kinetic nature of the war into virtually every single Middle Eastern neighbor. We have rumors of our stockpiles, not only militaristically being low, we can't get goods, raw materials in to build it fast enough. We have, you know, the whole point of a strategic oil reserve is to have a strategic oil reserve, and that's now diminishing as well, in spite of drill, baby, drill, right? Again, another trope that doesn't work. Virtually every aspect of the war has been, if you graded it, a failure.
Yeah, 100%.
At best, a
Yep.
C- on, well, they can't build a nuclear weapon.
Are we sure?
Maybe. Do we know that?
Do we know? We don't know.
And here's where I'm going with this. And I want to, at best estimates, if you took the absolute top brass within our military, across all 4 branches, the main branches, Hegseth and this administration decided these individuals got to go because they are not going to be loyal enough to
100%,
us.
yes.
27. These are 3-star, 4-star, 5-star generals, all kicked out, who had spent a lifetime.
Because I knew this was a terrible idea.
And they weren't even given the option to leave. They were fired.
Yeah.
We fired the people who have spent the last 30, 40 years
Yeah.
understanding the global environment. At what point do we get that back? Do you think we can?
I don't think we ever get it back. I think it's gone forever. It goes back to the administration ability to lie about anything for anything, and they've completely lost trust in everything. I mean, it's gone. It's never coming back. He's ended the war 20 times, something like that.
Oh my God. I don't know. Ask Kalshi.
And now Iran is saying they won't even talk to him until he's gone. They're not going to talk to the United States until he's gone. So now you have the strait closed. It's never going to open again. If it does open back up, it's going to charge a toll. So anything that comes out of there is going to be more expensive than it was. I don't think we're feeling the effects of the gas right now because everybody's so broke. You can't go.
Correct.
You can't. There is no demand. Where did I go the other day? And there was no one there. I went out in the valley to.
In Chesterfield?
Yeah, out in Chesterfield Valley, Top Golf. There was no one there. And then we went across the street to that, and no one there. Like there was just no one there. Like no one is out. No one is spending money. I went to a restaurant in the Loop not that long ago on a Saturday at 2:00. Whenever their show was getting ready to happen, we were the only people there.
Yeah, I was at Blueberry Hill about a month ago.
Yeah.
And this was 4:30, 5 o'clock, happy hour time on a Saturday.
No one.
Typically, you would have, 5 of the 6 dartboards filled,
Yep.
in the booths, short waiting list. Walk right in, choose your spot.
Yep.
And those are anecdotal, but I think the reality is we all see it.
So that's going back. The gas crunch would be feeling us a lot. We'd be feeling it a lot more. Everything that's happened over there. If it wasn't, I don't think people are doing things here.
Yeah, there was an energy, strategic energy specialist that was on the news yesterday morning. I was watching. Again, I'm a CNBC nerd. And the panel said something like, we've been fine. We've been able to maintain these prices. And he's like, why are we all ignoring the fact that we've been using our strategic reserve to help subsidize these costs? The thing is, you have to drill to fill your reserve back up. We can't drill more. So when is our reserve going to increase? If you think prices are going to drop soon,
and that's not just us. That's
it doesn't equate.
Everybody in the world is going to have to refill their strategic oil reserves.
Except for nations that are leaning on renewable energies.
Yes.
Actually, they're going
to need to fill them too. Everybody's going to. So I think the economy is significantly worse than anybody is letting on. The numbers are not justifying how bad it actually is.
Well, and there's a brain body disconnect as well. The MBAs of the world will say it's K-shaped economy, and what it is when you see the news that every single day the S&P 500, Dow Jones, Russell 2K, et cetera, are breaking records. It's like, the narrative is, the economy's doing great. No, for those of us that can play in the market, sure, we are doing well on paper, but Vanguard literally put out an article last week stating that they are seeing record early withdrawals.
Oh yeah, 100%
from 401k plans.
Yeah, 100%. That is happening across the board. People are pulling out of the 401k just to make ends meet. Credit card debt has never been higher.
Yeah,
people are broke.
Healthcare bankruptcies, tops.
Healthcare
farms.
And all these people just got kicked off of SNAP. We haven't felt that yet. That just happened like a month ago. Student loans, those are kicking back in. That only happened
the funny thing about SNAP is it's SNAP and the Ukraine war are eerily tied at the hip when it comes to the logic behind it. And it never occurred to me. I heard this little quip the other day. When you think about the Ukraine war and, well, Biden was funding the Ukrainians. Well, no, literally 98% of the money that was dedicated to Ukraine was literally staying within our borders for domestic manufacturers to build the shit so that we didn't have to send our army, right? Yep. We kept the money in-house and sent the product overseas. When you cut SNAP, who are you really hurting?
They're going to, what are the grocery stores going to do? What is
Bingo.
Walmart going to do?
Bingo.
What is, those are the ones that they already don't pay their workers enough. So now they're not going to have enough money. They're not going to have health care. They're not going to have enough money for food, and they're not going to get subsidized from the government to eat. What happened? And that just happened. What happens 90 days, 120 days from now?
Well, that's the cruelty of the big beautiful bill is the calendar structure of the bill itself is purposely back end loaded to where the true cuts and funding, the spigot gets turned off after the midterm.
Yeah, and it's going to get real dark after the midterm. I just, the things that are going to happen between now and January, I just don't think people are ready for.
Do you feel sorry for the rural MAGA base that is homophobic, racist, etc., that we know in their real world relies upon all of these services? They are about to be punished by the party that they put on a platform.
They're starting to feel it. They are feeling it, and I feel sorry for them because I understand their motivation to vote for him. I understand why they did it.
Yeah, see, I've lost my empathy on that front. I don't. I actually think I feel really, really bad for children.
Yeah, I feel
like that's bad.
And they're you got to remember, 40% of them out there did vote to keep it. Mm-hmm. So you're not even talking all of them. So you have these towns getting decimated and disappearing, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah, it's that's kind of a big problem.
Yeah. I do feel bad. I drive all the state of Missouri, and to watch these hospitals and clinics close all over and watch the only grocery store in town close. And it's happening every day in every rural community in this country.
Yeah, it's the come to Jesus moment is literally at the doorstep.
Oh yeah, within the next 6 months, it's all going to come to a head. We're there. What happens? So what happens when the stock market crashes? Because
when
it's coming?
Yeah,
we don't know when it's coming, but it is going to come. So all the retirements are going to get wiped out, but the billionaires are going to be fine because they're going to leave before it happens because they're going to know that it's going to happen and they're going to bail.
Yeah, when you go from $2 billion and you lose 20% due to a market pullback, you're still a billionaire.
Yeah,
by a lot.
Yeah.
What else you got? What other news is kind of percolating in your?
What do you? Oh, I just had something. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Are you a Drudge guy? Or are you an AP guy? Do you wake up and doom scroll and then decide which one you want to post first?
So I wake up and I do Google News first, and then I'll do Threads, and then I'll do Twitter. I don't have an account on Twitter.
God, Twitter is bad.
It is just so toxic. It is. I don't even have any followers on Twitter because it is just so, and it's hard to even scroll through it to find out what's real and not real because everything is AI on Twitter. It seems like everything is fake on Twitter.
Yeah. Hey, Grok, is this fake?
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely not.
Hold on. I had something.
Yeah, I'm when I'm looking news wise, I do tend to rotate. I found Reddit to be really kind of good at somewhat staying on point, depending on the sub. It seems to be the least influenced of the platforms, but you got to be careful within the subs because that can get a little chaotic.
Yeah, I have trouble with Reddit. I have an account. I've tried to get into it. I just can't make myself do it. So I find myself on Google News mostly.
Well, Reddit forces an extra step, and most people don't want to do the extra thing because you do need to move from sub to sub.
Yeah.
And most people just went in a singular line.
Yeah. And I just have not, it is not my formula for looking at the news as of now.
Yeah.
I've gravitated more to clips because the insane things that the administration say is just baffling to me. The things they are willing to say out loud that no other administration would have ever said before.
Right.
It makes it really easy to clip and just be like, did this actually just happen? Like the other day, he said that they were giving small children soda bottles full of vaccine.
Yeah.
I have a 7-year-old, so my kid was, a small baby getting vaccines during COVID. That never happened. Just, it's not a thing.
You sure? Was it in the Mexican Coke bottle?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it didn't fucking happen.
Because that was an immigrant Coke.
I was listening to it. I'm just like, people are going to believe it. People
they totally do.
People believe that.
I have family members that are in the industry that are in that camp. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. You were trained as someone to help save lives. And it's ideological. It's ideological. It is not scientific.
No, it is the what they have done to science is so it hurts to watch.
The real moral of the story is don't do drugs, especially heroin. Look at RFK.
Yeah, we have a former heroin addict telling people not to get vaccines, and kids are dying from fucking measles, which should not be a thing.
Which wasn't eradicated.
Yeah, which was eradicated.
Yeah.
And now what's going to happen with all these people not getting vaccines in the future?
News topic, what you got?
Let me get back at my thread here. Let's see. What do you think about the new Attorney General?
You mean the old interim attorney general?
Now the
I think Congress has completely abdicated its role, its job, its responsibility, because the simple fact that you have an individual that has spent a large chunk of his career as the personal attorney for the president, that in and of itself should be disqualifying.
Well, yep.
So where do you start? There's that for me. Number 2 would be the 1776 fund for the J6ers or anybody that can sue the government for what are they calling it? Oh my God, they were unlawfully prosecuted. Whatever.
Yeah.
Where do you stop? At the end of the day, too, and this is I always go to Wall Street. Because these guys idolize the stock market and these businesses, et cetera. And to a degree, if you were to really dumb things down, you should look to Wall Street and these companies that have become behemoths from an operational standpoint. How do you operate? Who leads? Who do you fire? Who do you support? Where do you spend your money? How do you grow, right? As nefarious as it might be, if you believe in success as a metric, you would look at these companies and be like, okay, these large Fortune 100 companies, whenever they have problems, they do one of two things, and usually at the same time. They go to the C-suite and say, let's look at leadership, who's getting what right, and let's make some changes. And then they go to the bottom of the ladder and say, okay, what's our weakest link? And they invest money there. They fix the bottom, they fix the top, and it squeezes, and it makes them a great company, right? So here's where I'm going with this. You now have a DOJ as well, in which you're losing all of your best people.
Oh yeah, they're all leaving.
They're gone.
If you can leave the government and you have retired, you have enough years, and you are bailing immediately.
And we talked about the military a little bit earlier. All of these things, we have the litmus, and the litmus is something that they love. Can you just operate each of these divisions like your best friends just down the road, on Wall Street are doing? And it's not. The intent is to break it. The intent is to squeeze the juice from the public good into the private sector.
So that actually gives me hope. Them breaking it actually gives me hope about the future, because I think they're going to break it so fucking hard and so bad, it's going to have the opportunity to really change, like some turn of the century, last 1900 to 1800 to 1900, where we can break up these companies, where we can truly make some changes as far as our tax policy, and where we can kill the filibuster first day. Democrats, I think, are going to be in charge if we have real election and the Republic stays until 2028. I think the Democrats probably win all of them because I think the next 2 years are going to be rough.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I think you'll have an opportunity to completely redo the country. And you could do it in one day. So the first day of Congress, kill the filibuster, and you vote to make Puerto Rico and DC states, and you pack the court. All in this, all within the first week.
You would need 60 votes in the Senate.
And they kill the filibuster.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's the pendulum always swings is the issue. I would go a slightly different route. I would, kill the Harry Reid rule, move budgets, bills, etc., away from 50+1, get it back up to 60%, and then you just implement two simple rules. You got to have a balanced budget, which would require the cooperation, and number two, this is the big one, and they have to do it all money out of politics. Federally fund these elections. Take PACs out, kill Citizens United.
Can't do that with the court, though.
Totally understand.
The only way you get that kind of change is to kill the filibuster, and then you structurally change everything whenever you make D.C. and Puerto Rico states, because then you have 4 more senators. They're going to lean left.
But if everything swings right, couldn't they just revert it?
But I don't think you're structurally changing so much of it. I think it's going to be hard to swing back.
Possibly.
I think you're changing because now you're at 104 senators.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably at another 15-ish.
Judges?
No, representatives.
Yeah.
11, probably 11.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
What's the population of Puerto Rico? 7 million or something like that. And then you 15 justices. And then you...
Well, the justices is easy. You just go to 13 and match your federal districts.
Yeah.
You can go there. You have an odd number.
Yep. And then the pendulum has swung, and it's hard to swing it back. You can go back, but you can't go back as far.
Well, doesn't it ultimately all go in order for this to work and stick? It goes back to what we were just talking about earlier. The effects of the big beautiful bill and everything. The reckoning is near.
Yeah.
And it's already hit most people.
Yeah.
You probably need another 5 to 7% of the country to get fucked, like in a hard way, so that you have this new base, this true populist base that is moving in the direction of you've killed my family.
So I made a video the other day that a lot of people watched about things I thought would pass today in Missouri. I think universal health care would pass today in Missouri.
Yeah, probably 53, 54.
Maybe a little higher than that. Rural areas are starting to get fucked, and they are starting to not have it.
Well, if the election was today, I think it would be 53, 54. If it was January 1st, probably low 60s.
Yeah. I think it passes pretty well. They've already, right to choose has already been passed. I think universal health care passes. I think if you put it to a statewide fair districts all the way across the board, I think that passes. You have an independent commission. I think every progressive policy passes in Missouri if you put it up to an individual ballot.
Except trans.
Yeah, except for that. I mean, I don't know if you word it right, because there is a lot of civil liberties that people enjoy here that they would probably, but it's not, it's like not.
I only bring it up, I joke, because the reality is
it's not a thing.
The Republican strategists are that smart. They know the bait. They know who will take it, and that's going to be front and center. That's why the WNBA is now, populating my newsfeed, and I could give a fuck.
Yeah.
I
just, how do you win in Missouri? How does a Democrat win here?
Let me ask you a parallel question, straight from the headlines of today, and actually it should be breaking anytime, the news of our boy Luigi up in New York. He shot and killed the United Healthcare CEO.
Yes.
He has become kind of a populist icon.
100%.
Do you think like 15 years ago, Luigi does what he does?
It does not.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, no.
It would be weird. It would be a page 3 story.
15 years ago, it was starting to get pretty fucked. Like, healthcare was still on. If this was 2004.
Yeah, that's in the middle of Obama too.
Yeah. 2004.
What do you think a Luigi really says?
It's
about us.
It's like, my initial thought of it was, that's morally wrong. He shouldn't have done that. I don't condone it in any way. But I get it. I get it. If your family member died because of, which happens every day, they get denied a claim and they die.
What happens to pedophiles in prison?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very, very similar thing. Yeah, it works itself out.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I've yet to have anybody or hear an argument, even for those that are super pro private healthcare. They have not effectively touched this argument.
No, because everybody gets it. Everybody that is below the top 1% has gotten that bill in the mail and gone, what the fuck is this for? I didn't even see this doctor, and now I'm getting a bill for $1,200.
Yeah,
because it went across his desk. He didn't touch it, but now I'm getting charged for it. And then whenever you try, so the fact that you can't call up to a hospital and say, how much is this surgery? How much does this cost? If I pay you cash, how much is this?
Yeah, full transparency.
And they will not tell you. They won't tell you because they don't know. Because there is no price. It depends on who your insurance carrier all the way. And if you don't have insurance, they might not do the surgery anyway.
Well, the insurance world also is super good at communicating it as one of these tremendous financial benefits, i.e. an HSA account. HSA account on paper, right? You fund it, you can use it towards your expenses, and it's pre-tax, right? And everybody's like, oh, I don't have to pay taxes. But that assumes you're in a position in which you can take less take-home pay, put the money in an account that is on top of the premium you're already paying for the healthcare service.
So I remember the biggest argument everybody says for the private insurance is, oh, I can get my doctor's appointment. My doctor retired a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It took me, I had to call around to 30 or 40 different doctors to find out one that would take a new patient.
Yeah, they're not taking new patients.
They're not taking new patients. And then find one that works with your insurance, and it's a scam. Yeah. And how many people, the thing about insurance, that medical insurance especially, that really gets me bothered is it locks you into a job that you can't leave because of the benefits. How much innovation is being lost because people are stuck working in the same place over and over? How much productivity is lost?
Yeah, they're afraid of COBRA. And then if you do go to a new company, depending on where you're at on the ladder, there's a wait period before you're eligible for the benefits. Well, your kids aren't going to stop running around outside and potentially breaking their arms so that your health care kicks in.
So now you have a kid with a broken arm and you don't have insurance. Yeah. So you're out.
And if you're on meds.
Yeah. There's just, it locks you in a way. It's a prison for your job. And it's health insurance is what the prison is, because you can't get out of it. You have to have it. And it would be, I wish people would see the benefit of being able to go from job to job and advance your career in a way, or explore new opportunities, because you are guaranteed health insurance. Mm-hmm. And we're the only country that doesn't do it.
You know, the other thing is the whole only country that doesn't do it makes me immediately think about, gun deaths, one, but sticking with healthcare and quality of life. We as a nation, we don't poll that. Like when you think of European nations, Scandinavia in particular, when you ask them things, or, like what's important here, et cetera, they will talk about quality of life. Here's our quality of life standards are very, very high. We live longer, we're happier, blah, 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 blah. And how do you really measure that? It's hard to say, but you look at the root cause or the foundational things that these people get in their nations, and it's healthcare, it's education, it's even housing, right? They have those things. They don't think about it.
No,
right?
It's not a thing to them. It's not the biggest thing on their mind is oh no, I can't go to the doctor.
Right. So my question to you along the lines of all of this, like, what are we as Americans, like, if we were to say, okay, what's the most important thing to us, right? Scandinavians will say quality of life.
Yeah.
What do we say?
Money and a job.
Yeah, money, paying bills.
Yeah, paying bills. Or, I mean, you want to say family, and it is the most important thing, but we all have to work. Two people have to work. You don't get time off. I got 3 weeks off whenever my kid was born. My wife got 3 months. Like, and we had to get insurance so that she could take off.
Yeah.
It's insane. They want us, the right wants people to have more kids, but they make it impossible to have kids. Whenever our youngest was in daycare, and this is going back 3 years, it was $1,500 a month. That's a house payment.
Yeah.
And it's over $2,000 now. Like, how are you supposed to have kids whenever your house payment is $2,700? Your childcare payment is $2,000. That's $5,000 right there of take home money before you've done anything. You haven't paid for your car. You haven't paid for food. Nothing.
Yeah. I want to reverse the compass and point the arrow in the other direction, because Democrats, they haven't solved any of these problems.
No.
And you look at states in which they are, the reverse of Missouri. They're the supermajority. They haven't solved the problems there. You look over the past 20, 25 years, go back even a little bit further. Let's include Clinton. A lot of the macro issues that we have, you can point to a Clinton, even an Obama presidency, as root cause. Clinton and NAFTA, Obama. You had the bankers sitting at the table ready to throw the book at them. You let them all off.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Moving, today, because I don't want listeners to think that this is just bash MAGA as easy as it is. These deserve some solid uppercuts.
Yeah, they are. I have never. So you see the polls come out, and Democrats are terribly polling worse than Republicans, and I get it because everybody on the left hates them. They all hate them. Like, everything about them, they're too old. They don't listen to their base. I see what the DSA is doing, and they're winning because they're actually coming with solutions other than just talking about what the other side is doing.
Do you think it's? Do you think the DSA? Simple question first. Does it help the Democratic Party overall come November, from a national perspective? Because you have some. So you have some states that are on the fence that were never going to be on the fence that are now.
So this is going back to the left being terrible at branding.
Yeah,
They are just so bad at branding, because I look at the DSA similar to like the Tea Party. So
Rick Santelli.
yeah, so it's similar to the Tea Party. They have these the Tea Party had crazy right wing ideas, but they were separate from the rest of the Democratic or Republican Party. The DSA is they pick socialism is a dirty word in the United States. It just is. They have 50 years of brainwashing because of...
It was Cold War.
Yeah, it has completely made it toxic. It's a toxic word in this country. So the fact that they use that name, automatically people will vote against it, which is back to terrible branding. I don't know who's in charge of marketing on the left, but they suck.
Yeah.
But I love some of the policies. I don't love them all, but some of the things that they're hey, let's do this, I agree with. I think it could hinder them because it all comes down to sound bites, and people hear the word socialism in the United States and they get scared, and they...
Let's stay there for a second. DSA, and I'm speaking pretty generically. Who do you think is the best at being a quote democratic socialist, and who do you think is really hindering the cause or the good that might be buried under the DSA title?
Man, I don't. So DSA's problem is it comes from, they have not done well reaching out to rural areas, except for Bernie Sanders. I don't know very many other rural DSA members. So you have this city-rural divide, and people in the rural areas just hate everything that happens in the cities. Perfect example of what's happened in Missouri. All these progressive policies pass on a statewide ballot, but they hate the Democratic Party, and they hate the Democratic Socialists even more. So I don't know anybody has done it perfectly yet.
Michigan and Wisconsin, obviously over the past 10 days or so, you had Michigan's primary last week and then Wisconsin primary this past week. Gives me kind of the tail of the tape. Michigan, El Sayed, obviously he won that primary. Now that primary came down to less than a percentage point in which he won compared to the more, quote, moderate Democrat. Wisconsin, in the governor's primary, you had the, quote, more moderate Democrat, the gentleman from Milwaukee area who, same thing, we're talking like a percentage point, beat the self-proclaimed DSA candidate. Those two states, to me, they tend to be Americana, and it's almost as if they each protected themselves in a weird way.
So I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal as people think it is.
I don't think so either. But
so if you have a choice between voting for a Republican, if you're on the left and you have a choice of voting for a Republican, or you have a choice of voting for DSA, I don't know anybody on the left that's not going to vote for the DSA. I just don't. Like, it's in the, you have a motivation issue on the right. The right is demoralized, right?
it's a never Trump mindset.
Yeah. So it's a never Trump. It's anybody but them.
Yeah.
And they're going to, I don't think you're going to have a problem with turnout. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. I don't care what the polls say right now. I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Do you think El Sayed in particular wins Michigan?
I think he does. I think he probably does, because I think Republican turnout is going to be so bad. I think it's going to be shockingly bad. I don't think we're really prepared how bad it's going to be.
I have a lot of friends in battleground states, family, in fact, up in Michigan, about 6 of them. And they all know my passion. So I've been, backdooring text message questions, what's going on in your neighborhood, et cetera. 2 of them are plumbers. They're union plumbers, master plumbers, who have voted, not all 3 times, but a majority of the times for Trump. They're voting for El Sayed.
Yeah, I think you'll have people on the right move over there.
Yeah.
I think the messaging is, people like it. People like the idea of universal health care. People like those ideas of just common sense things. It's a good policy.
And then it goes back to what we touched on earlier. They don't want money going to Israel anymore.
Yeah.
They want money out of the Middle East.
Yeah, we don't want another endless war, which
We're in.
We have right now, and there is no end in sight. There's no way to end it. Just no way.
It's Texas is the other one. My moles on the ground down there. Tallarico is he's moving the needle.
Yeah,
in neighborhoods that was never an option.
See, Texas, I always get this false hope about, and I still don't think Texas goes blue. I just don't think it happens.
Well, so the take from my buddy down there that is kind of a nerd like me, the take is you really need, there's a 2-point swing that you're really counting on, that you need in order for anything to be close, you need it to win, and that is the conservative Hispanic vote. ICE is pretty much guaranteed that is going to go Tallarico's way.
So they have the difference with this Trump administration and the previous one. The previous one was loud. It was very obnoxious, and it hurt some people, but not most people. Most people, it was theater. It was a reality show. This time, he's actually hurting people across the spectrum, from the top to the bottom. There's a chance you get astray from this administration.
Yeah.
And it's hitting a lot of people. It started with firing everybody at the Fed. And the ICE stuff, that is, people don't like that.
Yes.
People look at that and think, that's not the United States. There are masked men running around, taking people off the street, citizens and non-citizens, shooting people in the back. Those are things that are not American.
So at the time of this recording, breaking news, I mentioned him earlier, Luigi Mangione pleads guilty to federal stalking charges.
stalking charges
Yeah,
in
not
the
the-
24,
yeah.
in which he will serve life in prison, which means he will not go in front of a jury for
I'm
murder.
surprised they didn't go to trial.
I am too. I think he probably feared mortality a little bit because if it did go to trial, there was the potential of it being bumped up to a capital punishment.
Yeah, but I think there was a really good chance of jury nullification.
Find a jury of 12 peers
People- yeah.
that doesn't have one person that's
Yeah.
been fucked by an insurance company.
Yes, I think that's where you get. I think that's where you get jury nullification.
I agree. I'm a little.
I'm surprised.
This is
in that-
pretty morbid take. Sorry to interrupt, but like morbidly speaking, I wanted him to go to trial because I wanted that to be brought out.
the spectacle. Yeah, the
That's
jury
it.
nullification.
Yeah.
The fact that billionaires and multi-million, like these guys that have hundreds of millions of dollars, and their job is to, the guy's job was to deny claims and let people die to make more money.
100%.
That was his job. That was his whole. Yeah, of course somebody's going to get pissed about that.
Yeah, I was even running through my head like, okay, if I had gotten the jury call, right, I could never find him guilty. Yeah, my own personal story, really simple, is my mom had cancer for a couple of years, and every so often I would go have breakfast with my dad about every other week. And one morning he comes in, and he was stoic. He was that. It listened to Rush too much, but he was liberal because my mom was a cosmetologist, and he just hated life.
Yeah.
And he came in one morning and he was in a good mood and just kind of chipper and like, oh, these eggs are great. I'm like, well, what's going on? You're in a good mood. I'm like, and I knew that he had just taken my mom to the doctor to get a white cell test. When you have cancer, it's always about your cell count. And he goes, oh no, the numbers were really bad. There's, cancer's, she's going to have to do another round of chemo, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, connect the dots, Dad. Why are you so fucking happy? He goes, well, it's your mom's birthday. I'm like, well, I know, but she's sick. He goes, yeah, but it's the special birthday for me because now all these fucking bills, I get to send to Medicaid.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
So it's like in that moment was, and I knew how the system worked. I was within it. You see the kitchen table reality of what our system does to families.
Yeah.
And I stared into my dad's face saying he was in a good mood knowing his wife was going to die, but now he didn't have to deal with those bills. Yeah, I would have, not guilty all day.
Yeah, it is. In every other developed country, you can just go to the doctor.
Yeah,
You can
right?
just go to the fucking doctor. Why can't
Yeah.
you do that here? I just, and how have they sold it to so many people that this is the right way to do it?
Well, they sold it because they say government is bad.
Yeah, and it's not. It can. I mean, it can be. Don't get me wrong. But it's. We need a Teddy Roosevelt to be charismatic and loud, and they're gonna have to come from that class of people. It's just how it works.
You're familiar with Scott Galloway, right?
Yep.
I'm a big fan of Scott Galloway. I think his pragmatic approach to so many subject matters, I'm like, yeah, I buy it. He's said repeatedly on multiple podcasts and in speeches, et cetera, he's like, when you think about the United States and you think about what does it do well, what has it done well from an institutional standpoint or organizational standpoint, what has it created that nobody else in the world has been able to replicate? That's our military. Because you can't deny it. You look at our military, forget about the wins and losses, but if you look at the military, the structure, the equipment, the mass, the fear, the strength, right? Now, situationally speaking,
It's kind of gone now.
but he said it through the lens of this was a social good. This was the government at its best created a military that was second to none. And it created a system within the government in which you could create these 3, 4, 5-star generals that knew more about all this shit than anybody else in the world. And that's why we were the most powerful military. And now we have a military in which the best brains of our military were told to go kick rocks. And we have this pseudo corporate entity, i.e. Hegseth and crew, that are running it, and they fucked it all up.
And it happened fast.
Oh my God.
It went to shit so fast. And I don't know. So if the military isn't what it used to be, and what's going on with those ships over there right now, which is just crazy. I mean, you apparently had a sailor jump off.
That's more than one.
More, yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And toilet's not working and stuff like it was so poorly planned. This administration had no plan whenever they went into Iran, and so now we look weak to everyone because our military is depleted, and it's not the to be feared entity that everybody thought it was, and that it's gone. We can't ever get that back. So we are no longer the leaders of the world. Free trade happened because of us.
I was laughing yesterday. I saw a headline about the FAA announcing this new initiative in which they were going to bring on so many more air traffic controllers, et cetera. And where they went to find them, or they're shopping to train them, is the gaming community. They want gamers to look at these screens and guide these planes in and out. Like they stated this, Sean Duffy, right? And I'm like, how fucking tone deaf are you guys? You go after gamers to put them in the FAA so that we don't, so planes don't run into helicopters outside of DC. And yet we're losing a war to a nation where we've got 30, 50s, $80 million jets flying around, and they've got $30,000 drones flown by gamers.
Yeah.
So we're going to take the gamers, and instead of like battling other gamers in the military, we're going to put them in the FAA.
So they've firing all those government workers. They just got away with, just ended hundreds and hundreds of years of experience about how things work. In politicians, you have to be good at communicating to people. But politicians up until this group always kept the people that actually knew how to do shit. They always kept them, and they defaulted to them. This group is so worried about only one thing, two things, loyalty and making money. Those are the only two things I care about. So if those are the only two things you care about, that's all that other shit doesn't matter. And if it works, who fucking cares?
Can you imagine sitting somebody down, strapping them in, put duct tape on their eyelids open and say, explain to me why you were upset about Hunter Biden's $100,000 painting and, Junior's oil future trades,
or the just getting cash given to you through crypto that no one can ever trace from who knows where and who knows who's giving them cash, and just straight up giving them money. They're buying that. Hey, I'm going to buy your coin. We're going to raise the price of it, and then you're going to cash out, and then you're going to do whatever I say.
I don't know. I think the full takeaway for me, as far as where is the turning point, I think it's only going to come through an immense amount of pain. And these people are going to be punished. They are going to see their kids struggle, some starve. They're going to see family members die. They're going to see houses taken away. They're going to see, homelessness jump in their neighborhoods. They're going to see drug use skyrocket. Because here's the thing, okay, you close the border. We're stopping all crime. Guess what? There's still a pretty good flow of fucking drugs into this country. Oh, yeah. That never pulled up. That never pulled back. All of these things, it's a powder keg, and it's going to blow. And the shrapnel is going to be a load of MAGA households that are just
the problem
decimated.
The thing that makes me nervous about that is those MAGA households are willing to lose everything for it.
Well, they're going to,
because it's their identity.
Yeah,
and they can't lose their identity. If they say they were wrong, then they've lost who they are as a person. So they are willing to go down with the ship.
Yeah, it's like college football.
Yeah,
your team is your team,
yep.
Whether or not you're 0-12.
You can see that because of everything that they do, they will just change what matters to them or not. They can be on one side of the issue one day and completely different side of the issue the next day. And I've made videos to where one day I'll be saying this and they'll have this take on it, but then the administration will change their tone and then they'll have the exact opposite. And it's two fundamentally different things, which is just, it's because they don't think for themselves.
Yeah.
It is whatever the team is going for. And they all talk about being alphas and stuff like that. I get called a beta on my page so much. And it's funny to me. And none of them have an original thought.
No, they don't.
So whenever people make fun of me on the internet, it's the same 7 or 8 different things that they say in different ways. And it's like, oh my God, you're not even able to make fun of me in a creative way.
I know my vote, but who do you think is more sensitive? That middle-aged white guy that lost their job to a family who came across the border with nothing, had nothing, knew nothing. Is that person more pathetic than a boomer?
So boomers are the worst. So as far as the hate I get, the people that are the most vicious and the ones that send me the wild, sometimes I'll get DMs that are like pages long from a boomer.
Oh yeah.
That is just incoherent nonsense that I should send to somebody just because. And I want to
send them to me. I'll read them all.
Oh,
I'll make a whole series and read those shit.
They're just, and I get them. I get one of them probably once every few days where these people spend hours like crafting this long DM that I'm never going to read.
Judge Judy was a rerun.
It is just, and the fact that they're just so mad at the world and they can't see good in anything anymore.
I mentioned this earlier, with Joe Rogan. I think the human soul, no matter how evil an individual is, there's a certain amount of awareness that just never dies. There is a flicker. Might not be a light bulb, but there's a flicker. And I think that when they go off like that and they're typing a response that is completely incoherent, not based in fact, far, far away from policy, I think it's hiding their realization. And now it's not front of mind, but they're wrong. Something within them knows because you constantly battle to prove it otherwise.
I don't think that they know they're wrong. I think they think they're doing a moral good they think I'm evil. They truly think.
I know. I read the comments.
Yeah, I truly believe.
Every now and then, I'll stick my finger in there. I'm like, man, I got enough haters.
So, it's just hate in it, and I believe that they truly feel it. They're boomers. Their kids don't talk to them. They're living in a rental. They have Social Security, and they don't talk to anybody. They don't have any friends. And their life is spent on the internet getting mad and watching Fox News.
I think there's another thing where so many of them that have been embedded in this Fox News mindset, this accumulation world, even after they're well past the need for accumulating, they're not distributing. They're taking advantage of new tax laws. So there's all tax-free, stepped-up basis, my best friend. What's happening to a lot of them that are willing to admit it is, because that generation, their parents were the real superheroes. Their parents were the ones that fought the war, that might have grown up in the Depression, that literally experienced global strife at a level that their lives didn't. Yeah. Now, mind you, they did go through Vietnam. Most of them were younger. Yeah. But it's legacy. So now they're approaching the end. And because people communicate so much more within families, good, bad, and different, there's no loyalty amongst kids to that you can't say that about mom and dad, or you can't say that to mom and dad. No, fucking people are willing to say it. And they're approaching their deathbed, and they're thinking, what am I going to be remembered for? There's this thing. There's self-awareness. I agree with you that they might truly believe in the evil, but their legacy is going to be defined by their passion for evil.
So I know a lot of boomers. I'm from a rural area. I know a lot of MAGA boomers, and a lot of them are alone. Mm-hmm. They have given up their families for this thing on the internet,
for a reality TV star,
for a billionaire from New York that could not give a fuck about them. Yeah. Thinks they're trash, and they've given up their families, their grandkids. They are in a bubble of their own making that is just a hate factory that just turns over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. Whenever I do my videos, I make a lot of videos about things that make me angry, but I try to make a positive one. Hey, I'm optimistic about this, because it sucks to be doom and gloom all the time. It's awful.
If it bleeds, it leads, though.
Yeah, it does. And the ones that do the best are always the ones that are about the crazy thing that happened. But
Yeah.
I want to go back to, so I started these channels in the previous administration, and it was mostly just about how systems are fucked up. And I didn't talk about politics at all.
Yeah.
But then the new administration's here, and whenever I can't go on any business site, I can't go on any headline site, every story is about the administration.
Yeah.
So you're forced to talk about it, which leads to the bubble that these people are living in because you can't get away from it.
I'm with you because it's like,
Out of the top 5 stories, how many have his name in it?
well, on Drudge, it's all. I was just on AP. The top 4.
Yeah.
Let's see here. But I just clicked on the sports page. Just
Sometimes
to
he's
test
even
it.
on
Oh,
there. He's even on there.
WNBA.
Yeah, he's even on there. Like you can't get away from it. In being somebody being involved in everyone's life in America like that, it's bad. No one should consume that much attention.
Let's close this out because you're on your vacay and you're
Yep.
wasting time here in Midtown. However, there's great burgers all around. I want to have a little bit of fun. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip through Democratic names, and I want you to give me just a quick one sentence. It could even be one word reply as it pertains to their prospects. Be it 26, be it 28 for the big ticket. Let's have a little fun for a second here. Let's start with some crazy fun. AOC.
Unlikely.
Bashir.
We'll try and fail.
Newsom.
We'll try and fail.
Westmore.
I don't know.
Pete Buttigieg.
No.
And we're running through names quick here.
Mark
Cuban.
You know what? He could get traction. I don't think. I think it's going to be somebody that's famous.
Stephen A. Smith.
No, he's too out there.
What about Whitmer?
No, maybe. No, I don't think so. I think it will be a man that wins.
Pritzker.
Maybe he's got enough. He's loud enough.
McConaughey.
I don't know.
J.D. Vance.
He's gonna try and no.
Tucker.
Yes, I think if I had to put money on somebody winning, it would be Tucker.
Rubio.
He's gonna try and fail.
I mean, there's a whole list of nutbags on that side. I'm not even going to go down that. That was fun. That was short enough.
Ossoff is my pick right now.
Yeah.
He's going to win Georgia by 13.
You think?
Yeah. It's going to be a blowout. He's going to win it by a lot.
Mark Kelly.
No, he's too stiff. It's just too stiff.
Do you think we're past the day of a true policy wonk that's actually good at the job?
That is never going to happen again. You have to be forward. You have to be somebody that's good on social media, and that's why I think he's going to win. That's why I think Ossoff's going to win, because he's dynamic whenever you listen to him talk. He's the only one that makes me stop and listen.
He's actually very good.
Yeah.
And I think that will benefit him. Well, going back to the Michigan race, El Sayed, when he's interviewed, even by a hostile left,
Yeah, no, he's good.
dude nails it.
And you know what? After Obama, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? I think the only thing I do think it's going to be a man. I just got a feeling it's going to be.
I've always said the first female president will be a Republican.
I hope that's not true, but America's, I think it's a good chance that's true.
Yeah.
I hope it's not, but
Adam Zoph, ADAM, ZOPH, Lincoln notes here.
thanks for having me.
You got any plans like to alter it up, or you just full steam ahead, same thing every morning, wake up, punch yourself in the face? And
Every morning I wake up, I wish I had more time.
are you coffee, tea, or whiskey before you start your
I
day?
am straight 8 ounces of coffee. eight
Black or sugar?
black.
Yeah, that's
Black
the way to do
coffee.
it.
I have a big Yeti cup I drink it in, and yep, coffee every morning.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, man. We should do this more often.
Yeah,
Once
man,
a year is
Yeah, I'm happy to come in.
that's pretty far apart. But if you're listening, give them a follow. Go check it out. But I appreciate your time, man.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me you're joking, JB. Out of here on Friday, at 11:33 at the time of this recording. So I will go crack a beer at 11:54. Until next time, see ya.